power resides where men believe it reside. In every boardroom, bedroom, ballot box, and battlefield, one silent truth governs all outcomes. Control does not begin with force. It begins with permission. The strong don't seize the minds of the unwilling. They guide the choices of those who consent. Think of the last time you said yes, when you meant no. Was it persuasion, or was it programming? This video dissects the law of control, a timeless structure of influence where dominance is never taken, only accepted. We'll explore how manipulation exploits your unconscious patterns, why real power often wears the mask of benevolence, and how the most in control individuals are often the most internally enslaved. Most never notice the pattern. But those who do begin to see the invisible strings. If you're ready to stop being directed and start seeing the script, keep watching. Control doesn't begin with action. It begins with architecture. Mental, emotional, cultural. Carl Jung warned, what you suppress becomes what controls you. When we deny our fear, our longing, our rage, we invite others to manage it for us. A tyrant steps in to promise safety. A lover steps in to offer validation. A brand, a religion, a movement says, "Follow me and you'll be whole." But the danger lies in the very act of following. Milgram's experiments proved how simple it is. No guns, no threats, just a white coat and a calm voice. 65% of people obeyed commands that seemingly harmed others. Not out of malice, but obedience. They weren't forced. They were willing. Ask yourself, who do I obey without question? Whose voice do I mistake for my own conscience? What part of me have I outsourced? Control is rarely imposed. It is invited. Sun Tzu wrote, "All warfare is based on deception." He didn't mean military conflict. He meant all contests of will, all efforts to dominate. The most successful manipulation is invisible. You believe it was your idea. Consider Zhuge Liang, who defended an empty city by sitting in calm silence. His enemy, convinced it was a trap, retreated. No battle, no blood, just perception. Now consider modern leaders, CEOs, influencers, lovers, friends, those who smile while positioning the board, those who offer comfort while securing your compliance. Machiavelli was explicit. People will always allow themselves to be deceived. If the deception flatters them, secures them, or simplifies their world. The strong don't crush resistance. They dissolve it. And the most dangerous controller is the one who convinces you that you're free. What if power is not control over others, but immunity to being controlled? Taoism answers with silence. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. True control is inward, because the tyrant, admired, feared, obeyed, often lives in terror, terrified of irrelevance, obsessed with appearances, ruled by the very fear they use to rule others. Marcus Aurelius sat on an imperial throne and wrote, "You have power over your mind." Not outside events, but he wasn't trying to inspire. He was reminding himself, external control is always temporary. Internal control is enduring. So ask, when I seek to control others, what am I avoiding within myself? What fear is hiding behind my need for certainty? Is my dominance actually a disguise for my dependency? We see this structure everywhere. The puppet and the puppeteer. Not just in fairy tale, but in daily life. emotional blackmail, flattery, guilt. The strings are subtle. Praise, silence, withdrawal, gifts. Though we call them red flags now, they were ancient symbols of surrendered will. The strong silent type, not because they say nothing, but because others project everything onto their silence. He controls through presence, through mystery, through what is left unsaid. The wounded healer, not the manipulator, but the emancipator. Someone who has no need to dominate because they have already conquered the need to be validated. These are not metaphors. They are patterns. Once you see them, you can't unsee them. In organizations, autocratic leaders demand loyalty. Transformational leaders inspire it. One uses fear. The other earns trust. In relationships, control can come dressed as love, guilt, jealousy. I did this for you. But real connection requires freedom. Freedom to leave. Freedom to say no. In creativity, try to force a painting, a poem, a business idea, and watch it die. True creation flows from surrender. When the ego lets go, the inner voice rises. Control your mind, not your muse. In healing, a therapist who dictates isn't healing you. They are reenacting your control dynamics. Healing begins when power is shared. Everywhere the same paradox. Control thrives where we feel weak, and weakens where we feel whole. Here's the quiet truth no one tells you. You were never truly controlled. You were simply unaware. The manipulator can only move you through your unconscious compliance. Once you see the string, it snaps. Once you name the tactic, it fails. Control is not real. It's a trick of perception, a shadow on the wall. And once the light of awareness shines, the shadow vanishes. So ask yourself, where am I still in the cave, watching shadows? What belief, what identity, what authority am I still obeying without question? And who would I be without it? Imagine this. A master and apprentice sit by a still pond. The moon reflects perfectly on the surface. The apprentice asks, "How do I become stronger?" The master touches the water, and the reflection shatters. "See how easily the image breaks," he says. But the moon itself remains untouched. You are the moon, not the water. When you stop reacting, you become untouchable. True power doesn't control. It doesn't need to. If something in you feels different now, stay close. If the illusion cracked, even slightly, you're already further than most. If this showed you what you couldn't name before, you're not alone in it. Subscribe for more, and see through what others take for granted.